Another clockwork part had surfaced in India, so the boys and I loaded up the van and zeroed in on our next target, a mysterious spice lord known as Rajan. A self-made man who grew up poor on the streets of Calcutta, he started his life of crime selling illegal spices in the black market, eventually growing his small outfit to a sizable operation and earning himself a seat in the prestigious Claw Gang. He's since crowned himself Lord of the Hills, and while he goes to great lengths to convince others of his royalty, it's mostly to convince himself. True to form, he's holding a lavish ball in his newly purchased ancestral palace. The reason? To show off his latest acquisition, the clockwork wings, the symbol of my enemy. If you saw the wings silhouetted against the night sky, it was already too late for you, especially if your name was Cooper. Rajan believes displaying the wings will bring him prestige, and maybe they will, but they're also bringing me.
Sly Cooper and the gang in Starry-Eyed Encounter. So yeah, we're back. Whenever I replay Sly 2, usually it goes two ways. I either play through the entire thing in generally 1 or 2 days, or I give up in India because it just slows down so much. Incidentally, we now have 3 new gadgets available. The turnbuckle launch, the combat dodge, and the size destabilizer. We can only afford one, and I guess out of the 2, turnbuckle launch is probably the best. I still haven't even shown off Murray's original ability, but oh well. Start of the world, so we're only allowed to play as Sly. First big difference we have is a new type of enemy. Well, sort of an enemy? You can't fight the elephants, don't even try. If you're caught by their spotlights, they summon new guards. And I was about to say I don't think they drop money, but I guess they do. The monkeys are the new counter-attack guard. So they basically replace the rats. Oh, another new thing. Small single-hit enemies that'll pop out of nowhere to catch you off guard. Them snakes. And actually, it now strikes me that I remember. If you go this way, another 30 clue bottles to collect, but more importantly is down here we have a piece of loot. It's a little bit out of the way, but you see that red button, or that red flashy light? Booby-trapped loot. Run it back to the safe house before it self-destructs. That makes it sound a lot more explosive than it actually is. Honestly, it's just a time limit and the loot will destroy itself. It doesn't explode in a glorious fashion like you'd think. You can put them back on pedestals to reset the timer, but you have to keep in mind that it won't be set back to the original timer. It's based on the pedestal when you pick it up. So, if I were to not have enough time to make it back to the safe house somehow, and drop it on that pedestal, even if I were to pick up one that has 5 minutes, when I pick it up off the pedestal, it'll have 40 seconds. It'll go back to that original number. Oh, wait, no. It'll go to that number of about 40 seconds. Snakes.
With the drawbridge up, the only way across that river is on those conical rocks. Do you remember how to spire jump?
What? You think I forget one of the Cooper family's greatest thief moves? Whenever I'm near pointed objects, I just need to jump and hit the circle button to perform a ninja spire landing.
That's correct. Now let's see it in action.
I guess the elephants only spawn the monkeys because we do have new versions of the other types of guards. The ones that can't fight back after taking a hit, and the smart guards. Let's see if we can find one or the other. Yep, we have rhinos with swords. And you'd think that means they don't have ranged attacks, but no, they just have an infinite supply of swords from that pouch on their back, and they throw them with disturbingly good accuracy. And he heard that. You see what I mean? They're very good aim. I think no matter which way you decide to approach the palace, you're still going to have that Ninja Spire jump tutorial. But yeah. There's the mission, even though I know where it is, maybe you didn't. Anyway, I finally thought of something to fill the dead air right as we get to the mission.
Figured out how to sneak in above the ballroom without being detected. The only problem is there's no way to climb up to that balcony door.
Not a problem. There seem to be plenty of branches for me to walk on. I'll figure it out.
I also... Okay, so today is the day I uploaded episode 20 of Tokyo Mirage Sessions, just to date this. I didn't like any of the default thumbnails that I got from YouTube, so I went in and watched my own video to try and find something better to use. And that was then when I realized a lot of my videos are kind of quiet. I think the problem is that because I now record everything on my new computer, which doesn't have its own audio, it's also where I do all the editing. And that unfortunately means that I get much... I think that's the reason why the videos, the game audio for the videos just feels so off compared with the dialogue. So I'm hopefully going to be able to fix that when I start recording again.
Easy does it, Sly. Just don't go out onto that balcony and you should remain undetected.
So there are two ways to fail instantly. You can break something in the earshot of the guards out there, or you can step onto the balcony. It looks like there's a bit of room, that the spotlights aren't facing you. It's an illusion. That line on the floor you do not cross. Alright, so we're back to the old recon photo missions.
Looks like the wings have been welded onto that statue.
So, I might or might not have mentioned this before.
They look heavy. Getting the wings out of here will be a real challenge.
But the manual for the game actually has a little bit of a joke in it where Bentley says, I wired your binocular Sly to take pictures, and I wired mine to my sleep dart gun. And then Murray asks, what did you make mine do? I didn't have time to mod it. But it's purple. I changed the color. The Murray doesn't need any technology to help. The Murray can rely solely on his fist.
An electronic witch. That could be useful.
Or roughly that. It's been a while since I've read it.
That's him. Rajan's really pulled out all the stops to impress people with this party. Maybe you should get some shots of the guests.
He has a pretty substantial beard. Alright, guest number 1.
Another Claw Gang member. Arpeggio specializes in exotic technology.
Guest number 2.
That's the Contessa, a high-ranking prison warden for Interpol. She must be working undercover to expose Rajan's spice ring.
I guess it makes sense that a spider would be a prison warden. And next up we have...
Carmelita's here too. She must be undercover with the Contessa to help bust Rajan.
And we have... one of the guards. Alright, not quite what I was looking for.
Neela, another officer undercover. Watch yourself, Sly. This party is crawling with cops.
And just guards. So I guess my small detour, which is not going to last long once we take this last photo. I really like Paris in this game.
Jean Bisson, a member of the Claw Gang and Canadian shipping baron. He owns half the trains in Canada. That's all the photos I need. Bring them back to the safe house and we'll start building a game plan.
Stealing the clockwork wings in the middle of a crowded ballroom is going to take some serious misdirection. And the squad of undercover cops only makes things more complicated. Although, we might be able to use them to our advantage. But no matter what we do in the ballroom, sooner or later we'll need to deal with Rajan's security chopper. Murray can take it out with some of the local armaments, but he won't be able to get inside the palace until Sly lowers the drawbridge for him.
Yeah, so we can't use Bentley or Murray. I mean, we can use them, but we can't get them to anywhere important until we complete the specific mission to lower the drawbridge. On the upside, it does mean that you can always farm the elephant guard spawns for cash and not be interrupted ever by the flashlight guards, but there's easier ways and more effective ways to get money in this game. So what I was saying about Paris. Easily my favourite area of this game. I would actually play this game for hours on end just playing around in Paris. Something about the level design and the music just hits all the right notes. It's probably how I got to learn that there's so many variations of the guard. Well, not the flashlight guards, but the smaller guards had variations. Okay, you. That might also be why India doesn't hit all as many right notes for me. You can also spy jump on top of the elephants if you have the patience to wait around slowly for them to get to wherever you want. And this, I guess it's a goat. I'm not a biologist, I wouldn't know if it's something else. And I know there's a smart guard down there, so I'll just wait for them to pass. It's just that it always felt like you were doing something at least useful in the Paris levels. Like there's always something fun and new to try out. When it gets to India, all of a sudden it feels like the pace got a shot in the foot and there's a lot more padding. I think there's... Maybe I'll have... At the moment I'm just going off memory. Maybe after I've gone through the game a bit more, then I'll be... I don't think I've ever looked at this area quite as critically other than from memory, so I might have a better idea after playing
I'd
it.
love to, pal, but the winch is all locked down. You know where I can find the keys?
Key guards have recently taken up positions around the palace. Sneak in, pick all of their pockets, and bring the keys back to the lockdown winch.
More pickpocketing! You say it sounds like that's a bad thing, but really, it's quite nice. Wait, you are not a key guard. What are you doing? Why did Bentley show me you if you aren't a key guard? Whoops. Where is he? We're killing the people who notice we're killing people. On the upside, there's no flashlight guys to come running in my day. I wish I had a sleep dart gun like Bentley did. Is it going to turn this way or that way? I suddenly feel like that might have been counterproductive. Oh, treasure. You learn very quickly to pick up every little bit of loot you ever find.
You can use noise to lure this guard from his post. Try ringing that gong and picking his pocket when he returns to his post.
Yeah, even if you were to be very careful and walk around this edge because the spotlight doesn't quite reach the whole way. You can't pick pockets from the front, it just gets you spotted and clobbered, even by flashlight guards. They don't pay you much for having a key, do they? Hello! Now then, where else is there someone in need of a lighter pocket? Outside, and then two over there at the area that we haven't really got a reason to go to. It might be just me, but I also think this world might be smaller than Paris. He nearly caught me there. I always did wonder why we've got guards that use why the strongest guards... I mean, mechanically I know why they make the ones with the really powerful attacks the ones with the flashlights, but why do they need flashlights and the others don't? Is it simply that they make up for the... Is it simply that the reason that they're so big and bulky because they have terrible vision? Doesn't really add up when you get to the final world because, well, The final world technically only has one type of guard, it's just that they use only 2 types of equipment. But, we'll get to that when we get to that. Why would you send me over there when there's a guard in front of me? Combat dodge is turning out to be a lot glitchier than I remember it being. Maybe it's the controller. It's not the controller I grew up with, but then a lot of the controllers I grew up with actually got damaged from excessive use. Not just this game, but a lot of this game. There's definitely a difference between listening to a video with a headset and listening to it via speakers. This is the perfect place to learn, hey, guards will hear clue bottles if you break them. So why not? Let's show that off. See? So where are the keys we're missing? Okay, I know the one on the left. How did I miss the one on the right? Either way, let's go. The addition of a sprint button is very much appreciated. Imagine having to go through all these massive levels at a snail's pace. That would have definitely been a black spot on the game. Now that I'm older, I can definitely see a flaw or two in the game, but I still think this is a very excellent game. No such thing as a perfect game, but certain ones do come close. Oh dear. Meanwhile, this guy has paid a fortune! I think that the snakes can raise the alarm, but... Wait, I hear bottle. Some of the vault locations in worlds can be a bit weird. I know that the one for this world has to show up at least 2 phases in, so it's not this phase, it's the next one. But, and then you've got worlds like Paris, or the next world, where it shows up practically immediately after recon photos.
Back to the padlocked winch to lower the drawbridge.
Yeah, I needed the medicine. I also need what's in your pockets, don't judge. Pickpocketing is definitely a little trickier to do on stairs because whether it works or not is based on whether the full length of Sly's cane can reach the pocket. But when you're on the different levels from him, it increases the distance, but they still have the same AoE, I'll notice you if you get this close to my body. So yeah.
Thanks, Sly. Now Murray and I can access the palace grounds.
And we're technically late enough that we should be ending the episode, but I think I have enough time for the Murray mission. So then, I never did show off this. Murray's Fists of Flame. One-shots guards. It's kind of pointless actually, because Murray already two-shots guards. Even smart guards. Meanwhile, the turnbuckle launch. It gives him a very high jump. I don't think it quite makes up for Sly being able to just climb up pipes, but it definitely gives him a little mobility at least. You're still going to want to use Sly for everything. But at least Murray can navigate the levels a little bit easier now. Not quite easily enough, apparently. Oh, come on, I should have grabbed that ledge. Fine, I'll use this. There we go.
That chopper is a menace to all future aerial operations while on this job.
Yeah, it's all covered in missiles and guns and stuff.
Now be a team player and take it out with that rusty pre-war turret.
Okay, I had a potato gun once. I'll bet it works just the same.
The weird thing is that because that saying is a thing, it actually dates when
Your
I
button's fast to keep your strength up.
It actually dates how long I was aware of it. Or, where was it going with this? It dates something. Basically, I have this really old game called Grunts. It's a puzzle strategy game.
And hold down the R1 button to fire. But be careful. If you continue firing for too long, your guns will overheat, and you'll have to wait for them to cool down. Try getting a shot off on that chopper.
Once you shoot him, he knows that you're hostile and starts shooting back. I've sworn that there was a zoom function on this thing, but oh well. Eventually you're so focused on taking down those missiles that you don't have any time to shoot the helicopter itself. Oh yeah, old game, Grunts. Not exactly a quality game, but I have nostalgia for it. And I also know that the game has a level editor. And it's not one of those humongous entertainment level editors where they just give you a few in-game buttons to click, but you'll never make anything as in-depth as what they have. No, it was a programming level of editor. It wouldn't surprise me if they used that to actually make the whole game. And I do actually remember back when I was immature, I guess, I actually used that little catchphrase of Murray's to make as a title for one of the levels I made. It's a lot better than the Murray escort turret missions, isn't it? Mainly because we're not escorting Murray, he's the person using the turret. Oh boy, he's mad.
The Murray triumphant!
Good work! The sky's all clear!
And yeah, like I said, it's not that long, provided you know that what you're doing. If you don't know what you're doing, or you have poor judgment or reflexes, or really, it can just as easily take you way longer than that. Next time on Let's Play Sly 2 Band of Thieves. Well, we've got a Sly mission. Until then, guys, take care. I'll see you all around.